Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures review of this 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This one is the limited all-wheel drive with the 2.5 liter turbo. The hood's popped, so if you see an extra little gap there, that's why. We're going to take a look under the hood in just a minute. But this 2.5 turbo is actually a pretty peppy little engine. So it puts out, I believe, 281 horsepower. I'll put the numbers up on the screen, and 311 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty good for a vehicle this size. I mean, compare this to a Subaru Brat, Subaru Baja type thing. It's quite a bit smaller than the Honda Ridgeline, but also a bit bigger than the Ford Maverick. So it's kind of an in-betweener. I mean, if it's the size you need, that's great. And it has some really good features that make it quite useful. But first, let's take a look under the hood. And there is that 2.5 liter turbo. It's transverse mounted, so the exhaust there and turbo on the back. And then it feeds, I believe, yes, you can follow this hose. So it feeds into an intercooler to cool off the air and then comes in right there after it goes through the intercooler. So actually a decent amount of space in here for this little engine. And the other option, I believe, is a 2 liter 4-cylinder. So this is a much better engine option as far as power goes, and haven't heard a ton of issues with it, so reliability seems to be pretty good so far. Anyway, overall, really like that engine and the way it drives. It's paired to 9-speed, let me make sure, 8-speed, wet dual clutch transmission. And the transmission's good. It shifts quick. It has crisp shifts, but it does have a few issues that I've seen in other dual clutches. It just, when you're trying to creep and go slow, it can be a little jerky. But when you're actually moving, when you're cruising on the road, freeway, when you're around town, it does really well, unless you're, kind of coming to a stop or slowly keep creeping through traffic. Really like the wheels and tires, everything's a nice fit on it. Like nothing really pops and is over the top on the design. It's just a nice cohesive package. And this one came with this bed cover, which is actually pretty nice too. You do lose bed space. I have the car seat in there as I'm filming, but you can see it rolls up under there and you lose some bed space. But the bed design is really nice. You have these LED lights, and I'll put up some pictures. So even at nighttime, you have a light up there that illuminates the bed. You have these two on the sides, and as you get into the trunk, those ones on the sides will illuminate into the trunk area as well. So this is much smaller than what you get on a Ridgeline. It still does have a drain plug there, but it's decent. It's nice to have this still. And the spare tire sits underneath back here, so you have a compact spare tire, but you still at least have an actual tire there. So bed functionality is actually pretty good on it. You can open the tailgate remotely. It is soft damping open, so if I hold down the button on the side, it'll open the tailgate. But overall, again, pretty good design. You don't need the side steps here. They're there if you really want them, but I can reach almost to the middle of the bed from the outside without issues. And it does have a pretty wide haunch design. Like you can see the wheel arch comes out quite a bit there. Even with that, it's easy to reach to the center of the bed. I don't know too much to say about the exterior design. I mean, you have a really small window. That's more of an interior thing, but the window there is pretty small, so if you're going to be passing boards and stuff through it, that's not something you would do very easily with this vehicle. I do like the front end of it, the LED lights and everything. Just kind of a nice look, in my opinion. I like Hyundai's new design there, along with the Santa Fe. Anyway, I think it's a good-looking vehicle on the front side. People, the comments I got that were negative were like this side profile. They don't like the look of it, but honestly, it doesn't bother me, and I understand the structural needs for it. You'll see the Maverick is the only one that does a little better with this, but the Ridgeline, all these unibody pickup trucks seem to have kind of a swooping arch there that helps add to the rigidity of the structure. And this thing is really rigid. So when you're driving around town, that stiffness, you feel it. You feel how rigid and stiff this thing is. You don't get creaks and rattles. And it does feel a little harsh over some bumps. At the bottom of my street, there's a bump, and I do just fine in every other car, but when I do it and drive over it in this car, especially my wife responds like, hey, that's a pretty harsh bump there. There's not a ton of wheel travel, and it's kind of a stiffer, sportier suspension setup, so it does have some harshness to it over larger bumps. When driving around town, the Santa Cruz is very well composed. It can handle all the bumps and corners and all that stuff really quite well, while staying like composed. And the steering's very direct, very quick, so as you turn the wheel it responds, almost immediately, and that's great. All that stuff's really great. The issue I have with it around town is, as you come up to a stop, if you're trying to do like a chauffeur stop where you gradually ease up on the brake as you get to the point where you want to stop, if you're trying to do that, the dual clutch transmission likes to disengage and then kind of like re-engage to get you to move forward a little bit, and it makes it a little bit jerky. It's not very smooth. And this could be when you're coming up to a stop, when you're trying to creep forward in traffic. It could be, a variety of different reasons, or scenarios rather, where it will do this. And it's not the end of the world, but like right now I'm kind of creeping up. Actually, I might back off because there's a semi turning up there. But if you kind of come to a quicker stop like I just did, it's no issue. But like now when I'm trying to creep forward, it's kind of engaging and disengaging and makes it a little bit jerky. And it doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes it actually does quite well. Other times it does worse. So anyway, I think that Hyundai could tune that out and make it quite a bit better. But where it is right now, it's not my favorite thing. Other than that, the dual clutch does really well. I like the firm shifts. You can tell when it changes gear, but it's not jerky or anything. It's just, a nice crisp shift, and I do enjoy that. I'm not sure why it needs to have the dual clutch. I would say it actually doesn't, being that it's kind of a pickup truck. It's got the pickup truck bed on it, but this 2.5 turbo, it gets up and goes. I don't have to get into it to get up to speed. Really kind of a peppy little vehicle, especially once you get up a little bit in the RPM range. When you're down below 2,000, there's a bit of turbo lag. But again, the dual clutch, if you're driving it a little more aggressive, a little more sporty, it does really well. And on that note, when you put it into sport mode, same thing. So that helps out quite a bit with it. It'll still have those jerky motions, but it just makes the shifts really crisp. The steering, it was good before, but now it's a little tighter. It just makes it that much better if you're doing curvy, windy roads or whatever. Yeah, overall, I really quite like driving it around town. I got a lot of comments about maybe it's not the most appealing vehicle visual-wise, but it really does drive very nicely. And if you're looking for a really small, kind of a compact truck, this thing's well equipped, really nice to drive overall. And then when you're on the freeway, I'm actually not going to film a freeway section. I'm really limited on time, but I have driven on the freeway a bit. And when you're on the freeway, it does feel like it cruises great. It's easy to get up to speed, easy to hold 80 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, whatever it is. You can hold any speed. Going over overpasses, going up inclines, it doesn't struggle. It's not like some other vehicles we've tested where, even an overpass causes you to lose 10 miles an hour or it causes it to downshift. And this, it just goes. It just handles it really well, which I like. Something that does bother me I love the steering wheel controls here. That works really nicely. If you're on this screen, it'll go through your presets as you toggle this up and down. But I'm on station 41 right now, listening to Vicarious by Tool. but if I push up on the steering wheel, you can see now I'm on channel 40. So when you push up, it goes down in the number. When you push down, it goes up. And if you go here, when you're on this screen with the audio stuff being the main portion of it, when you push down, it moves down your list, which is kind of nice. Like, I don't know, kind of makes sense. I still don't like it. So go to 41 to 42, I will actually push down on the steering wheel and it will go up in the number, but it moves down on the screen. So I see where they're coming from. It's backwards. I don't like it. And I could definitely get used to it, especially if this were the main vehicle or only vehicle I was driving. It wouldn't be an issue. But right now, you know, it just is a little counterintuitive. And I do like how the screen's set up. It's nice when I have my phone connected. It works well also. There's no complaints from me on this screen. And a lot of that is because you have all the climate controls down below here. So really easy to use. It is touch sensitive. There is a decent amount of piano black, which I don't like. I haven't had issues with it yet, but a lot of times that piano black will reflect into your eyes, or it also gets scratched really easy. You can see it's a little bit dirty right now, but it's not scratched or anything yet. It's just the piano black, there's some here and around there. It gets pretty, I don't know, easily scratched, really reflective. It's just something that shouldn't be in vehicles, as it, you know, can cause issues on that front. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Really quite like it overall. I mean, it's a fun little sporty vehicle to drive. Have a truck bed so you can throw dirty things in there. And if you're not hauling 8-foot, 4x8 sheets of lumber or doing that kind of stuff, then this bed will suffice. And it's nice. It does have a little tiny trunk in there. Overall, it's pretty useful, somewhat utilitarian, but quite nice inside as well. Drives great, drives more sporty, and just overall quite like the vehicle. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below. And if you didn't like it, do all that. Make sure your comment lets me know what you didn't like about it or what you did like, and I'll try to make improvements in the future. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day.